and welcome. My name is Natasha Hazlett with Hazlett Law. So glad that you are here and you're interested in learning more about the process of developing an estate plan. Instead of doing the traditional introductory consult where I share a little bit about myself and the practice and what we do and what that looks like, I decided to shoot this little video for you. So that way you can enjoy it in the comfort of your home. You don't have to come into the office and you get all the information that you need to help you make an informed decision on what your next steps will be. So in this video, I want to share with you a little bit about who I am and my law practice. I'll also let you know who I serve, what to expect when we have an estate planning strategy session. What are the things that we cover? What do you need to bring? What will you leave that strategy session with? I will also cover fees, what that looks like, what's included, and then finally I will share with you how to schedule your estate planning strategy session if it's something that you want to move forward with. All right, so I am originally from Greenwood, Mississippi. I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I went to undergrad and law school at Southern Methodist University in Dallas. Moved home to Memphis after law school. I had the privilege of working for a larger, prestigious law firm in Memphis where I got to learn from the best in the business, my father. So my dad is an estate planning attorney. He typically works with high net worth individuals, and I have learned so much from him. I guess it's in my blood to be an estate planner. And my husband and I decided to go on an adventure. So we moved to Boise, Idaho, and we lived there for 9 years. When I moved out there, I joined a firm. They wanted me to develop an estate planning practice, and that I did. I built a very thriving estate planning practice. In fact, I'm still of counsel to that law firm over 15 years later. I served on the taxation, estate planning, and probate section. I was actually the chairman of that section. I was named by Idaho Business Review as one of their Women of the Year, and I've been honored by Super Lawyers magazine. So when I got pregnant with my twin boys, my husband and I decided that we wanted to move our family to be closer to our family who was living in Memphis. And so we moved to Franklin, Tennessee at the end of 2018, and we absolutely love it here. So yes, in addition to being an attorney, I am the mom of 3 young kids. I've got a daughter and twin boys. I'm a best-selling author of 2 books. I'm an inspirational speaker, and I absolutely love teaching people about estate planning, which brings me to the way that I work. So as you can tell, I do things a little bit differently. Hazlett Law is a boutique law firm. I don't do divorces. I don't do criminal law. I don't do taxation. I don't do business formation. I am solely focused on estate planning and estate and trust administration. So wills, trusts, revocable trust, irrevocable trust, testamentary trust, general powers of attorney, healthcare powers of attorney, living will, advising executors, advising trustees. So everything connected with estate planning and estate administration and trust administration, that's what this firm focuses on. It's my favorite area of law, and I decided that after 20 years, I wanted to just solely focus on the area of law that I love the most. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I do things a little bit differently because I don't take on all clients. The clients that I work with are individuals, couples, families, blended families that have a net worth of up to about $10 million. So that's my sweet spot, anywhere from 100,000 or so in assets all the way up to about $10 million. And the way that I do things, again, is a little bit different. So instead of having the traditional intro consult, you're watching this video. And the next step is to schedule an estate planning strategy session with me. So this is a session where I'm going to get to know you and I'm going to be able to strategize with you based on my over 20 years of experience in this area to help you develop a solid plan that's going to meet your family's financial and legacy goals. So in that estate planning strategy session, you're going to want to bring, at least a gist of what your assets and liabilities are. Some of my clients love to go for the gold, and they have like a whole spreadsheet listed with every account and value and all of that. It's not required by any stretch, but if you have that, go ahead and bring that into the session. So what we'll do is I'm going to get to know a little bit more about you and your family, and I'm going to look at your assets and your liabilities, and we're going to look and see what types of assets you have. And through all of that initial information, I'm going to be able to advise you on what kind of a plan is going to work best for you. Do you need a will? Do you need a will with a testamentary trust? Do you need a living trust? No, I do not believe that everybody needs a living trust. I realize that there is a lot of information that is out there that makes it sound like everyone needs a living trust, and I don't believe that that's the case. That's not the way that I approach estate planning. I think that those planning decisions are really based on a client's very specific needs. And so that's what I'll figure out with you in the estate planning strategy session. We're going to figure out who makes sense to be your fiduciary. So, who should be the executor of your estate? Who should be the agent or attorney, in fact, under a power of attorney? Who should help you make healthcare decisions? What kind of end of life decisions are there, and what is your position on a variety of conditions? What are you willing to live with? What are you not willing to live with? All of those things, we'll have that conversation in the estate planning strategy session. It can last anywhere from 45 minutes to about 90 minutes. And so you'll leave that strategy session with a plan. Not a fully drafted estate plan, but you'll have a plan. You will know who the fiduciaries are, in what order will they serve, what kind of estate planning devices do you need. So you'll have that entire plan. And at that point, you have two choices. You can take that information from the strategy session and go and find a lawyer that you want to work with. Or if you're like the majority of my clients, you're going to look at me and say, can you just help me implement all of this? And most oftentimes I will say, yes, I would love to help you to implement that plan and get those documents drafted for you. Okay. So the estate planning strategy session is a flat fee that covers our meeting. And if you choose to have me draft your documents, I will take the fee that you pay for the strategy session and I will apply it to the cost of drafting your documents. All right. So basically, it makes the strategy session free. And so, one thing you also need to know about working with Hazlett Law, I typically do things on a flat fee schedule. So, you'll know the cost up front. Once you decide that you want me to draft the documents, you will make your flat fee payment right then. And then I will draft the documents, and I try to get everyone in and out within just a couple of weeks. And that's really important to me because I know that you would probably like to spend your money on like everything other than your estate planning. And if you're like most people, this has probably been on your to-do list for a really long time. And so by the time you get to me, you just want to get it done. And I want to help you cross that off of your to-do list. I want you to have that peace of mind that you have a plan in place that fits your needs and fulfills your goals for yourself and your loved ones during a very stressful time in life when you are suffering from incapacity or after you have passed away. It's a very stressful time. And so having that plan in place can really provide peace of mind for you and your loved ones. So, like I said, if you decide to have me prepare your documents, you'll get a flat fee rate. We'll apply the fee that you paid for the strategy session to the planning fee. And then that fee includes the strategy session, any kind of ancillary little calls and emails that we need in between the time of the strategy session and the signing meeting. It will also include a full signing meeting where I'm going to come in. I don't have a paralegal that's going to work with you or an associate attorney. You get me. We're going to go through your estate plan. I'm going to make sure that you understand what it says. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I want to make sure that my clients know that, number one, uh, their goals are reflected in the documents. And number two, I want to make sure that they understand what they're signing. I mean, I'm not going to give you a pop quiz or anything at the end of this signing meeting, but I do want to make sure that you know what you're signing and what it says. And so that's really important to me. So a lot of people will know, like, how much does this cost? And what all is included in the flat fee? So when I create a comprehensive estate plan for someone that needs brand new documents, that includes a general power of attorney. So that's for finances, a healthcare power of attorney, a living will. So that's for end of life decisions. They're known as advanced directives, a will and or a trust. And again, that depends on your situation, on what you need. Then it also includes a funeral letter, a tangible personal property sheet, and a few other ancillary documents to make sure you have a complete plan. It will come in a binder so that you have it, I call it the ducks in a row binder, so you have everything all together in one place when you need it. So my flat fees start at $1,250 for an individual for a full, very simple estate plan. And couples start at $2,000 and it goes up from there. And again, it really depends on what kind of will. Is it a simple will? Do you have a testamentary trust? Do you need a living trust? I don't believe that everyone needs a living trust, but if you do, obviously that costs a little bit more. If you have an estate plan from another state, I am happy to review that. We can do that all in the strategy session. And from the strategy session, we'll decide together, do you need just a simple codicil? That's what you call an amendment to a will. Or do you need an amendment to a trust? I can help you with that. And then those costs vary. So codicils and amendments typically cost less than a full estate plan. And so we'll make that determination at the strategy session. All right, so that just about covers it. We've covered a little bit about me and my practice, who I work with. You now know all about the estate planning strategy session because that is your next step. So if you enjoyed this video, if you know that you want to work with me and get that strategy session, all you need to do is click on the link below this video. And when you do that, you're going to fill out your information. You're going to pay for your strategy session, and then you're going to book your time. You can let me know if you want to meet in person, on the phone, or via Zoom, whatever works best for you. And then we'll get this thing started. I'm looking forward to helping you to cross this off of your to-do list, to get this done. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you want to work with me, you can go ahead and click the button below and start the process to get your estate planning strategy session scheduled. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to meet you soon. Bye-bye.